Hello everyone. So the purpose of this video is just to go over your do now and fluency practice from today's lesson. So we're going to do this quickly, just like we would in class, just going to brush over things quickly so you can check your work. So for the first one, you had to plot 4/10 on the number line and 3/5 on the number line. Here you can see my explanation. So because each whole number is divided into 5 parts, that means each line or hash mark represents 1/5 or 2/10. These are equivalent. So if this is 2/10, then the second one would be 4/10, or if we want to think about it fractionally, if each one is 1/5, then 3 lines down would be 3/5. Here we can see that 3/5 is greater than 4/10. We could look back at our number line to see why. Also, because 3/5, if we wanted to put that as a decimal, that would be 6/10. So we know that 3/5 is greater. Now down below, this is kind of ratio/unit rate work. So remember, a ratio is a relationship between two quantities. So here we're comparing calories and ounces, and we want to find out how many calories are in 1 ounce. So that means we're going to be solving for 1, which is a unit rate. So you don't always have to write the ratio. I just think it's a good way to visualize it to make sure that you are dividing by the right number. So 230 calories to 4 ounces. And we want to turn the ounces into 1, so we're going to divide by 4. And over here you can see the work that I did to do that. And I got 57 and 5/10 calories per ounce, or for 1 ounce. In number 5, I had to find 6 ounces. So I took that unit rate of 1 ounce, and then I was able to scale back up to find 6 ounces and got 345 calories. Over here, I want to find out how much was in 1 pound, and they also mention here to convert ounces to pounds, 1 pound to 16 ounces. I actually did not start with my unit rate for this one. I started with that original ratio just because I knew 4 could also get to 16. And it's a little bit easier to multiply 230 by 4 than to have done 57 and 5/10 by 16. So because 4 was a factor of 16, I just stuck with this one because it was a little easier. Down below, this is more current skills. Distributive property, the number on the outside multiplies by both terms on the inside, 10m plus 15. This is combining like terms. So remember, you can combine numbers that have the same variable attached. So because all of these have y's, I can combine them. I did 10y minus 2y to start to get 8y, and then I took that and added it to that 4y left over to get a total of 12y. And then number 9 is kind of a combination of the two skills. I had to start by doing the distributive property here, and I got 20x plus 15. But now I do have two numbers with x's. They're not touching each other, but they're still in the same expression, so I do have to combine those like terms. And 20x minus 2x is 18x. 15 cannot be added to either of those because it is not a like term, because it does not have an x. To flip over to the next page, this was evaluating for exponents. So go ahead and just check your work. You can see for each one, I just wrote it in expanded form and then solved. So whatever the exponent is, that tells you how many times the base multiplies times itself. So 2 to the 3rd power is repeated multiplication, 2 times 2 times 2. If you need to pause the video to look over your answers, feel free to do so. And it says, how does the first column help you solve the problems in the second column? So if you take the answer from the first column and multiply it times the base one more time, you'll get your new answer. So I already found that this was 49, and if I multiplied 49 by 7 one more time, I would get this. And if I took this and multiplied it by 7 one more time, I would get 2,401. This lesson is going to be talking about coordinate planes, so I just wanted to review these as well. So it's important to know all ordered pairs are written in terms of x, y coordinates. X talks about left and right, and y is up and down. So the first number in your ordered pair is always how far to the right or left it is. So this one went right 0 and up 1. R was over 8, up 2. So once again, I'm not going to go over each and every one of these. I'm just going to scroll down. You can pause the video to check your work at any point. And the answer down below, the coordinates were written backwards, is why 6-1 was not correct. Okay. And the final page of your fluency looked like this. We should be getting more and more comfortable solving for variables. We always use inverse operations. So this was s divided by 8 is 9. So I was like, what divided by 8 is 9? Well, if I did the opposite, instead of doing dividing by 8, if I multiplied the other side by 8, 9 times 8 is 72. And then for all of these, I checked my work through substitution. So once I got my answer, I replaced the variable with that answer to see if it worked, and 72 divided by 8 is in fact 9, so it worked. Here, it was 5 times what is 45? If I don't know what I have to multiply by, I divide my answer by 5, and I get 9. Once again, substitute and check my work. 5 times 9 is in fact 45. What divided by 5 is 4? So if I don't know what my total is, then I'm going to multiply the 4 by 5 and I get 20, checking my work. Here, this is minus 4, so I added 4 to both sides, checked my work, 10 minus 4 is 6, so on and so forth. So here are your answers. And with that, we'll move on to our lesson.